Guys, curiosity is one of the most powerful forces in human nature. It's something we all possess, yet its impact is often underestimated. When you choose not to tell people exactly what you do, you create a void, and in that void, curiosity takes root. People are naturally inclined to ask questions when they don't have all the answers. It's part of our design to seek understanding, to fill in the gaps, and to uncover what's hidden. When you leave your work or purpose a bit mysterious, you engage people's minds in a way that straightforward explanations never could. People will begin to wonder, what is it that this person does? What makes them so unique or intriguing? The desire to know more will push them to pay attention, to observe your actions more closely, and to seek out the details you've left behind. This curiosity pulls them in, creates interest, and establishes a connection without you even having to work for it. Now, this doesn't mean that you should be purposely vague or deceptive. Rather, it's about allowing people the opportunity to come to their own conclusions about you and your work. When curiosity is sparked, it creates a dynamic of discovery, which is far more powerful than simply telling people what you do. It opens up an entire world of possibilities that are far richer and deeper than any scripted explanation of your profession could ever be. Curiosity forces people to think. It ignites their imagination, and in doing so, it builds a deeper, more lasting connection with them. It's one thing to be told what someone does, it's another thing entirely for them to figure it out on their own. The journey of discovery, of putting the pieces together, can leave a far more lasting impression. People remember the things that intrigue them, the things they didn't have all the answers to right away. In the absence of constant explanations, curiosity allows others to fill in the blanks, creating a narrative that is theirs as much as it is yours. And that's a powerful thing. In a world where words are often cheap and fleeting, your actions carry far more weight. It's easy to talk about what you do, to explain your role, your job, your mission, but talking is not the same as doing. Words can promise, but actions deliver. If you want to make a real impact, if you want people to truly understand your value, let your actions speak for you. Actions are the proof of your character, the embodiment of your intentions, and the ultimate demonstration of your capabilities. When you are focused on results rather than explanations, you shift the attention from mere rhetoric to tangible outcomes. What you do, how you behave, and what you accomplish are the things that define you, not just the words you use to describe them. The beauty of letting your actions speak is that they leave no room for misinterpretation. A person can hear 1,000 words, but unless those words are backed up by deeds, they fade into the background. On the other hand, a single powerful action can leave a lasting impression that no explanation ever could. When you take action, people see the depth of your commitment, the strength of your discipline, and the clarity of your purpose. You don't have to explain yourself because your actions do the explaining for you. This principle is especially important when you're building relationships or trying to lead others. Leadership isn't about talking endlessly about your vision or your goals. It's about showing others through your actions that you are someone they can trust, follow, and learn from. People will always remember how you made them feel, and actions are the most powerful way to convey that message. When your actions speak louder than your words, it's not about trying to impress or seeking validation. It's about making a real impact. It's about leading by example, demonstrating what's possible, and inspiring others to take action themselves. Your success doesn't need to be explained, but explained, because it's evident in everything you do. This focus on action also keeps you grounded. Talking about what you do can be an easy way to seek approval or recognition, but true fulfillment and success come from making progress, moving forward, and letting your work speak for itself. It's a subtle yet powerful shift from seeking external validation to relying on the internal satisfaction that comes from living your truth through action. Mystery is a powerful tool, one that can work in your favor in ways that most people fail to appreciate. When you withhold certain details about what you do, you don't create a barrier, you create intrigue. You allow room for people to wonder, to ask questions, and to form their own conclusions. The value of mystery lies in its ability to captivate the mind and keep others engaged. It's human nature to be drawn to the unknown. People are naturally curious and tend to seek out answers when something is left unsaid. Imagine this: when you tell people exactly what you do, you immediately put everything out in the open. The story is told and there's nothing left to discover. However, when you keep certain aspects of your work to yourself, you leave a space for curiosity to grow. That space doesn't need to be filled with a specific answer. It can remain open. And in that openness, people will become more interested in you. They want to know more. They start to form questions, which means they're thinking about you long after the conversation ends. In the world we live in today, where everything is often over-explained and dissected, mystery becomes a rare commodity. When you choose not to reveal everything, you're offering something different, something that stands out in a world of oversharing. That mystery makes you memorable. It sparks people's imagination, allowing them to project their own ideas and assumptions onto you. This can create a deeper connection because it invites people to become part of your story rather than just observing it from a distance. The beauty of mystery is that it can be controlled. You don't have to be completely silent about your work, but you can decide what you reveal and when. By withholding information, you not only maintain an air of mystery, but also retain a sense of power over your narrative. You don't let others define you based solely on what you do. Instead, you give them the freedom to discover you on their own terms. Mystery also helps to keep you from becoming pigeonholed. People love to label things, and when you constantly explain what you do, you risk being confined to a certain role or category. By keeping things a bit mysterious, you allow for flexibility and freedom. You create room for others to see you as something more than just a label or a job title. Instead, they see you as a whole, dynamic person with layers of complexity waiting to be uncovered. In business, leadership, and relationships, mystery can be a tool for creating a stronger sense of value. When people don't know everything about you, they're left to imagine the possibilities. And in that space, they begin to see you as someone worth paying attention to, someone whose full potential has yet to be revealed. Mystery, when used correctly, is a powerful asset that adds depth to your persona and makes you far more compelling than any simple explanation ever could. In a world full of noise and endless explanations, it's easy to fall into the trap of talking about what you do. We can become so consumed with describing our roles, our jobs, our goals, that we forget the most important thing: results. Results are what truly matter. What you achieve, what you produce, and the impact you make are the ultimate reflections of your work. Descriptions and explanations are just noise if they're not backed up by tangible outcomes. When you focus on results, you shift the conversation away from who you are and what you do to what you've actually accomplished. This is the key to earning respect and admiration. People will value the outcome of your actions far more than the words you use to describe them. Whether it's building a business, leading a team, or creating something new, the results speak for themselves. It's easy to talk about ambition and potential, but it's the actual results you produce that define your success and influence. This doesn't mean you should never speak about what you do, but rather that you should let the results take center stage. Rather than spending your time explaining every detail of your work, let your achievements stand as the most powerful evidence of your abilities. When people see the impact of what you do, they don't need the long descriptions. They can look at the results and understand everything they need to know. Focusing on results also keeps you grounded in the reality of your work. It's easy to get caught up in explaining and justifying your actions, but when you put your energy into producing meaningful outcomes, it forces you to stay focused and productive. It's a constant reminder that actions speak louder than words. And as you continue to achieve, the need to explain yourself diminishes. The results you produce will serve as your introduction, your reputation, and your legacy. Results are universal. Words can be misunderstood, but results are universally recognizable. They're clear, tangible, and often undeniable. Whether it's a product, a service, a piece of art, or a change in someone's life, results are something everyone can see and understand. The beauty of focusing on results is that you let your work do the talking, and in doing so, you free yourself from the pressure of constantly describing or defending your choices. In every area of life, results are the currency that earns respect and trust. Descriptions may capture attention, but it's the results that create lasting value. The more you focus on what you can deliver, the less you'll need to explain yourself. Your results will tell the world who you are, what you stand for, and what you're capable of, without you ever having to utter a word. There is an undeniable power in allowing your work to speak for itself. When you consistently produce high-quality results, you don't need to rely on words to explain your value. Your work becomes your statement. The more you focus on delivering exceptional outcomes, the less you need to justify or describe what you do. People will see it for themselves, and that speaks louder than any explanation ever could. When you allow your work to speak for itself, you're putting trust in your craft and your abilities. You're confident that the results of your efforts will communicate your worth far more effectively than any verbal description. This shift in mindset is liberating because it frees you from the need to constantly explain, defend, or sell yourself. Your work becomes your advocate, and over time, the consistency and quality of your efforts build a reputation that precedes you. The power of this approach lies in the fact that work is tangible. It's something people can see, touch, and experience. Words are abstract, easily lost in translation, or dismissed as mere self-promotion. But great work speaks for itself. It doesn't require further explanation because its value is immediately clear. Whether it's the quality of a product, the depth of a service, or the impact of a project, your work has the ability to tell a compelling story without you needing to say a word. This doesn't mean you should hide your efforts or downplay your achievements. Rather, it's about letting the fruits of your labor do the talking. Instead of constantly discussing your expertise or outlining your efforts, focus on creating work that showcases your skills and passion. Let the results be what attracts attention and recognition. Over time, people will begin to understand what you do not because you've told them, but because they've seen it for themselves. When you let your work speak for itself, you also establish credibility. People are much more likely to trust someone whose work consistently delivers than someone who constantly talks about what they can do. Words can sometimes be empty promises, but your actions and outcomes provide irrefutable proof of your capabilities. And this credibility builds over time. Each successful project or achievement adds to the narrative, gradually creating a strong and undeniable reputation. This approach encourages personal growth. When your focus shifts to letting your work speak for itself, you become more invested in improving and refining your craft. Instead, you pour your energy into creating something exceptional, knowing that the results will speak volumes. In the process, you grow more confident in your abilities, and the work itself becomes a reflection of that confidence. Your work should be a testament to your dedication, skill, and vision. It should carry the weight of your effort and stand as evidence of your passion and commitment. When you allow your work to speak for itself, you elevate your impact in ways that words simply cannot. The results will tell the story of who you are, what you value, and what you're capable of without you ever needing to utter a single sentence. The most profound and lasting impressions we leave on others are not based on what we say or what we do, but on how we make them feel. Words come and go, actions fade with time, but feelings linger long after the moment has passed. People won't always remember the details of your work or the explanations you provide about your role, but they will always remember how you made them feel. And that emotional connection is far more powerful than any description of what you do. When you interact with people, whether in a personal or professional setting, your actions and energy create an emotional experience for them. This is what sticks with them. If you make someone feel valued, heard, and appreciated, they will remember that feeling, and it will shape their perception of you far more than any title or job description. This is why it's crucial to focus on the emotional impact you have on others rather than just talking about your work. Emotions are universal, and they connect us in a deeper way than facts and figures ever could. When you leave someone with a positive feeling, whether it's through kindness, understanding, empathy, or support, they are likely to remember you with warmth and admiration. People gravitate toward those who make them feel good, who make them feel understood, and who help them see a better version of themselves. This emotional connection doesn't require explanation, it's felt and experienced. By focusing on how you make others feel, you can create an authentic bond that transcends what you do for a living. You become more than just a job title or a set of responsibilities. You become a source of inspiration, encouragement, and positivity. This is the true essence of leadership, influence, and meaningful relationships. You don't need to tell people what you do because how you make them feel becomes the most important aspect of their interaction with you. The irony here is that the more you focus on making people feel good about themselves, the less you need to explain what you do. Your actions, your words, and your presence will leave an imprint that speaks far louder than any description of your profession or your achievements. People will remember your character, your kindness, your willingness to listen and support, and they will come to associate you with that positive feeling. And that is what will keep you in their hearts and minds long after they've forgotten the specifics of your job. It's easy to get caught up in talking about what you do, especially when you want to be recognized for your efforts. But the truth is, recognition is more often earned by the way you make others feel than by the job you hold. So instead of focusing on explaining your work, focus on creating meaningful experiences for the people you interact with. Let them walk away feeling better, more inspired, and more valued, and they will remember you long after the conversation ends. In life, we are constantly interacting with others, and in those interactions, we're often defining ourselves in some way. However, if you're constantly telling people what you do, you risk letting others define you based solely on that. Your profession, your job, your role, these are just labels that can be limiting. They might create assumptions, and those assumptions might box you into a narrow version of who you are. By controlling your narrative, you maintain the power to define yourself beyond just what you do. When you withhold certain details about what you do, you give yourself the freedom to shape how others perceive you. People form their opinions based on what you say, and even more importantly, on how you behave. If you only describe yourself by your profession or job title, others may begin to see you only in those terms. But when you control the narrative, you guide them towards seeing the fullness of who you are, your values, your character, your potential, and the depth beyond any single label. The beauty of controlling your narrative is that it allows you to remain fluid, adaptable, and multidimensional. We all wear different hats in life. You might be a parent, a mentor, a creator, a leader, a friend, and those roles are not always defined by a job title. When you let your actions, your character, and your decisions speak for you, you give people the opportunity to see a more authentic version of who you are. Instead of letting a job description become your identity, you define your identity through your actions and interactions. By not telling people exactly what you do, you also avoid falling into the trap of over-explaining. When you describe every detail of your work, it can feel like you're trying to justify or defend your place in the world. But when you choose not to explain everything, you leave the door open for curiosity and discovery. Others get to learn about you on their terms, and that curiosity keeps you interesting and dynamic. You give them the chance to form their own ideas about you, which often leads to a deeper, more genuine connection. Controlling your narrative also helps you stay focused on what's truly important, your vision, your purpose, and your goals. When you talk too much about your job, you may find that others start to focus only on that aspect of your life, and that can limit your potential. Instead of getting caught up in descriptions, you can stay focused on the broader picture, the bigger purpose, and the impact you want to make in the world. The narrative you choose to share should reflect not just what you do, but why you do it, and how it aligns with who you truly are. The control you have over your narrative allows you to maintain a sense of power and autonomy. You decide what parts of yourself are shared and how they are shared. You don't let others define you by your job title, your income, or your external accomplishments. Instead, you show them who you are by how you live, how you act, and how you treat others, and that, more than anything else, is what leaves a lasting impact on the world around you. Anticipation is a powerful force. It builds excitement, curiosity, and a sense of possibility. When you don't tell people exactly what you do, you give them something to look forward to. Instead of immediately satisfying their curiosity with a simple explanation, you keep them intrigued, wanting to know more. This subtle tension, the space between what they know and what they don't, creates a sense of excitement that keeps them engaged. The human mind thrives on the unknown. We are wired to seek answers, and when those answers aren't immediately given, it sparks a desire to uncover them. This is the essence of creating anticipation. You're not feeding people everything at once, but rather offering just enough to spark their interest. It's this sense of mystery that keeps people coming back for more. They want to know what you're working on, what your next move is, and how you'll surprise them next. This concept works in many areas of life, from relationships to business. Think about the way we approach entertainment, for example. A movie trailer doesn't give away the entire plot. It provides just enough of a tease to make us want to see more. same principle applies to how you present yourself in your work. Instead of offering up all the details at once, you create a narrative that leaves people anticipating the next chapter. Every interaction becomes a chance to build intrigue and keep others guessing, wondering what you'll do next. Creating anticipation also keeps you from being predictable. Predictability can be boring. When you're too open about what you do, it's easy for people to become complacent. They know what to expect, and as a result, their attention wanes. But by holding back just enough, you maintain an element of surprise and unpredictability. You keep people on their toes, wondering what's coming next, and looking forward to your next move. Anticipation also works to your advantage in terms of reputation. When people know that you're someone who always brings something new, something unexpected, they will begin to value your presence. They'll look forward to your next accomplishment, your next idea, or your next conversation. This creates a momentum that you don't need to force. It builds naturally as people begin to expect greatness, creativity, or innovation from you. The sense of anticipation will follow you and make people want to stay involved in what you're doing, whether that's as colleagues, fans, or supporters. Creating anticipation helps you control the pace at which you reveal your work or ideas. By keeping some aspects of your journey under wraps, you can release information gradually, building excitement with each new development. This allows you to build a narrative that unfolds over time, rather than giving everything away all at once. And with that controlled release, you keep people engaged, eager for what's to come. The key to creating anticipation is to never fully satisfy curiosity right away. Leave enough mystery in the air so that people are drawn to you, are eager to learn more, and are excited about the next time they will encounter you. By doing so, you create a magnetic energy around yourself and your work, one that naturally attracts attention and keeps others engaged for the long term. Selective sharing is a powerful strategy for creating intrigue and piquing curiosity without revealing too much. When you hold back certain details about what you do, you craft an air of mystery that draws people in. You don't need to share everything at once. In fact, it's often more effective to share small, intriguing pieces of your story or your work over time, allowing people to slowly unravel your narrative. This gradual revelation creates a sense of suspense and keeps others interested in discovering more. When you choose to share selectively, you make sure that each piece of information you give has value. It's not about being evasive or secretive for the sake of it, but about giving just enough to spark someone's interest without overwhelming them. Each bit of information shared becomes an invitation for further questions, deeper exploration, and a stronger connection with your audience. This creates an ongoing dialogue where people are engaged and eager to learn more about you. Selective sharing also keeps you from overselling yourself. In today's world, it's easy to feel the pressure to constantly promote and explain your worth, but that approach can often lead to exhaustion or disinterest. Instead of trying to explain every aspect of your work, let it unfold naturally. By sharing only parts of the story, you encourage others to stay engaged and seek out the rest of the narrative on their own. This creates a sense of anticipation and excitement around you as people will begin to look forward to your next reveal. Selective sharing allows you to maintain control over the pace at which your story develops. When you tell people everything up front, there's nothing left to discover and the excitement fades. But by revealing things gradually, you can keep people's attention for much longer. It's like telling a story one chapter at a time, making sure each chapter leaves them wanting more. This strategy not only builds interest, but also reinforces your value and uniqueness over time. In business or personal relationships, selective sharing can also prevent you from overcommitting or over-explaining. Sometimes when we talk too much about what we do, we inadvertently create expectations that may be difficult to meet. By being more thoughtful and strategic in what you share, you can manage others' perceptions and leave them with a sense of curiosity about what you're capable of, rather than locking yourself into a fixed narrative. The key to building intrigue through selective sharing is balance. You don't want to withhold everything, but rather offer enough to ignite curiosity. You don't need to give away your entire plan or reveal all your secrets. Just share a small glimpse into your world and allow people to come to their own conclusions. By doing so, you will create a more engaging and dynamic connection with others, one that draws them in and leaves them wanting more. Over Over-explaining is a common pitfall many of us fall into, especially when we want to make sure people understand what we do or why we do it. The truth is, the more you explain, the less impact your words and actions have. By giving too much information, you dilute the power of your message and often lose the interest of your audience. People don't need every detail to appreciate what you bring to the table. In fact, over-explaining can often lead to confusion or disengagement. The key to avoiding this trap is simplicity. You don't have to justify yourself or explain every decision. When you keep your message clear and concise, it allows people to connect with you on a deeper level. Instead of trying to explain all the nuances of your role or focus on the most impactful aspects, highlight what matters and let others draw their own conclusions. This not only keeps their attention, but also allows them to form a more genuine connection with you. Over-explaining can also signal a lack of confidence. When we feel the need to constantly justify our actions, it can make us appear uncertain or insecure. If you're confident in what you do, there's no need to over-explain. People will respect your ability to present things succinctly and will value your confidence. The more you explain, the more you risk watering down your message, leaving others with a sense of overwhelm or disinterest. When you over-explain, you risk giving away too much. Some aspects of your work or personal life are better left unsaid, and leaving certain things to the imagination can actually make your story more intriguing. By sharing just enough, you maintain a sense of mystery that makes people want to know more. Over-explaining eliminates this element of curiosity, and without it, people are less likely to stay engaged. The trap of over-explaining also keeps you from staying focused on what really matters. When you're constantly detailing every aspect of what you do, you're distracted from delivering results. The focus shifts from what you're actually accomplishing to just talking about it. This can be especially damaging in a professional context where actions speak louder than words. By choosing not to over-explain, you allow your actions and results to take center stage. Avoiding the trap of over-explaining is about understanding the power of brevity, confidence, and mystery. Rather than filling the air with endless words, let your actions and the quality of your work do the talking. By keeping things simple, you not only avoid losing the interest of others, but also present yourself as someone who is clear, confident, and focused on what truly matters. In a world where we're often expected to explain ourselves or justify our actions, it's easy to get caught up in endless discussions about what we do. However, constantly talking about your work can drain your energy, diverting your focus away from the more important tasks that require your attention and effort. When you spend too much time explaining what you do, you not only risk tiring yourself out, but you also lose valuable mental and emotional resources that could be better used elsewhere. By not over-explaining or constantly describing your work, you preserve your energy for the things that truly matter. Instead of explaining yourself, you can put that time and effort into refining your skills, producing meaningful results, or simply focusing on your goals. Every minute spent justifying your choices or describing your job is a minute that could be better used in creating or achieving something that speaks for itself. Focusing your energy on what truly matters also enables you to maintain clarity and purpose. When you're not distracted by the need to explain, you can stay more grounded in your mission and vision. By conserving your mental energy, you allow yourself to think more strategically, make better decisions, and stay committed to your goals. This focus and discipline can be incredibly empowering, as it helps you stay aligned with what's most important to you rather than getting caught up in peripheral details. By reserving your energy for high-impact activities, you create space for deeper creativity and innovation. When you're not drained by constant explanations, you have the freedom to explore new ideas, solve problems, and approach challenges with fresh perspectives. Over time, this focus and energy conservation will increase your productivity and overall effectiveness, allowing you to make more significant strides in your work or personal endeavors. Not only does preserving your energy make you more productive, but it also helps maintain your sense of balance and well-being. Constantly explaining yourself can lead to burnout, stress, and frustration. By conserving your energy, you avoid these pitfalls, allowing yourself to stay grounded and present. This creates a sustainable pace for progress, where you can continue to move forward without exhausting yourself along the way. The more you conserve your energy and avoid over-explaining, the more powerful your actions and results will be. Your focus shifts from talking about your work to actually doing it, and this is where the true impact lies. By putting your energy into what matters most, you ensure that your time and effort are spent in ways that create lasting value. At the end of the day, the most powerful thing you can offer is your impact. Words can be persuasive, descriptions can be captivating, but it's your actions and the results you produce that leave a lasting impression. When you focus on doing the work and making a difference, rather than talking about it endlessly, you allow your impact to speak for itself. The value of what you do will resonate much more powerfully when people can see and feel the change you've created, rather than simply hearing about it. Impact is undeniable. It doesn't require explanation or justification because it's tangible and visible. Whether it's the success of a project, the positive change you've brought to someone's life, or the excellence in your work, the effect of your actions is what people will remember. This is why it's crucial to prioritize the results over the explanations. When you put in the effort to make a meaningful impact, you don't need to tell people what you do. It becomes clear through the difference you make. Letting your impact speak for itself also allows you to be more authentic. Instead of crafting elaborate narratives around your role or achievements, you can simply focus on doing what you do best. The impact you create will naturally tell others about your character, your expertise, and your intentions. By focusing on making a difference, you show that you care more about contributing to the world than about receiving recognition or praise. When your impact speaks louder than your words, you build a reputation based on what you've accomplished, not just what you've said. People will recognize your value not because you've explained it to them, but because they've witnessed the results firsthand. This type of reputation is more enduring, more meaningful, and far more influential than one based on constant self-description. It's the kind of reputation that can open doors, create opportunities, and earn respect without needing to boast or justify. By letting your impact speak louder than words, you also foster a sense of trust. When people see that you consistently deliver and make a difference, they trust your abilities without needing to hear the same explanations over and over again. Trust is built through action, not words. And it's through your consistent impact that you build a foundation of trust with those around you. The beauty of letting your impact speak for itself is that it doesn't require you to explain, defend, or prove yourself. Your actions do the work for you. And as you continue to focus on making a meaningful impact, the need for words diminishes. People will see the results, feel the difference, and understand exactly who you are, what you stand for.